Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host Chris Dices, and we're here with a review of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. Now, normally we show off some screenshots and talk about the game like that, but I think we might try to change the format of that. But we're just going to do like a straight vlog thing, as we normally do with our videos. That human interaction that we lack in today's technology world. So we're here to. Hopefully, I don't drop it. So I've played a ridiculous amount of time since it was released on Friday. I think I've played some like 40 hours in 4.5 days. Yeah. So lucky that I don't have any studies anymore, work or anything like that. So I have a fair bit of free time during the Christmas time to get into the game, and I haven't really had a new Nintendo game, pretty much all of this year. I've bought some third-party games and stuff like that, but it's been pretty good. So let's get into Smash Brothers. The game is packing with content, over 70 characters, 900 music tracks, 100 stages, gazillions amount of items and that. The game plays similar to the Wii U edition, but I felt it was much quicker in terms of movement of the characters and the fighting and things like that. And I was a little worried at first. I was thinking, this might be a bit too quick for me, but I'm starting to. Actually, the World of Light single play helped me out a lot in the classic mode to sort of get used to the speed of the game, which I really enjoyed. Now, um, a lot of the features are really good in the game. I feel like there's a lot of content for people to explore. I know that there's some things that went missing, like the trophies and that, but they've explained, the developers and Sakurai, about that. That takes a lot of time to produce and do those 3D models over time. So that's why that got canned. Now, the actual Smash stuff, you have the tournament, the squad strike, special smash and things like that. The game obviously works very well with the Pro controller. I know that there are some people who are sort of traditionally into the GameCube controller. I'm sure it works fine with that. I haven't tried out the Joy Cons that much, but I'm sure that it works fine in handheld mode. Works just okay. It looks great on the big screen instead of the 3DS version, which was nice to play on the 3DS, but it always felt a little pixelated and a little too small, the screen, especially when you're playing four player in that. So all those modes are really cool. The game feels a lot of fun. The new characters are fantastic. Some of the highlights that I have, I'm going to just look at some of the characters. For example, King R. Rule is fantastic. I liked him. Characters like Peach and Daisy, I was surprised about, were quite good characters for me. Probably the only characters that I was a little disappointed in was something like Game & Watch was pretty basic. Zero Suit Samus was a little disappointing. I just didn't really feel the vibe on that. But it's cool to have characters like Young Link and Toon Link who are similar but a little bit different that I enjoyed. The new characters like Simon, Rickard are pretty cool to use. A little tricky at times for me, but I liked it. Ridley is fantastic character, enjoyed that. And even the main characters are pretty cool. I've sort of learned to like them again as well. Bayonetta is there as well. The Inklings, a little tricky to use, but I just enjoyed seeing them in Smash Brothers, and they do deserve to be a part of that series. It's very, very cool indeed. Now, moving on to the other aspects of the game. So everything in Smash in general, that sort of thing works out. Now, some of you are probably wondering, now, Chris, what's this World of Light all about, the single player campaign? I completed the game at about like 8:15 in the morning because I thought the game was going to finish a lot earlier. It did not. It's a bit like the Return of the King, the Lord of the Rings movie, where you sort of sitting there and going, "This is the end, isn't it? This is the final battle," and it's like, "Nope, nope, nope. There's a whole other world to explore." Okay, okay. Oh, I've completed this section. Nope, nope. Nope, there's a whole other section to it. I eventually got to the end, and I was like this in the final boss fight. I was this close to dying, but I went for basically with the spirits, and we'll get into that right next. I went for a very high defensive um, sort of sort of style of play that you can do. Because with the spirits, the whole system with that, as we get into that, as it's right here, the Avengers and Spirit mode. Spirits is a bit like a role play sort of game, and that's what World of Light is, a bit like a role play game, sort of colliding with a fighting game. So you have all these. No, it does not have touchscreen. So it's basically like power ups and things like that. So for example, for Link, young Link, I attached um, this one called um, Raven, who has a sword attack. So you can power up Link's sword abilities and all that sort of thing. And there's another one called shooting attack, which means things like, bows and arrows and things like that, they get a stat increase. So that's how it sort of works. And for characters like, oddly enough, I went through the game with Bowser and Toon Link and a couple other characters too through the World of Light single player. So it was actually fun to use Bowser with a speed power up where he could move across pretty quickly and just deal huge amounts of damage. And there's lots of little things that you can do with the spirit orbs that you get, and you can upgrade things like, better air attacks and stuff like that, better shielding, areas such as that. So overall, I felt like the World of Light it's pretty long. Don't do what I did and just sort of crush through the game like I did. But I really enjoyed it. I guess I enjoyed it. The only downside that I felt was, and this is a spoiler, there's no cutscenes. There's no cool, interesting cutscenes that you see in Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I was disappointed. I was expecting to see them, and it's just like, nope, this is just a role-play type game with the fighting element, which I found was a bit disappointing. So World of Light, I think, is definitely a good try. You can unlock your characters like that and all that sort of thing, and that's a good fun thing too. So World of Light gets the tick for me. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely challenging at times, and I went through it pretty well. If I can complete it, anyone can. We'll go to the two downsides, you can say. I know some people complained about that you have to unlock your characters and all that sort of thing, and it takes a long time. There's ways to get around it, the resetting a game instead of waiting every 10 minutes. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think that's that terrible. I know that some people say, oh, but for tournaments and things like that, it's going to take them hours and hours and hours. But once you do it once, that's it. You get it done, and then you're not going to delete the save file or anything like that. You've now got cloud saving and stuff like that. So I don't think it's something that completely hinders you from playing the game, because once you unlock them, you'll be fine. And to be honest, out of all the 70 characters, I think that like Pokemon tournaments and things like that, people only use certain main characters. There are ones that are going to be better than others, and ones that you avoid, and ones that you don't really care about. So personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. It's not like it's going to be a problem for you forever. The one thing that could be an issue is its online features. And just having a glimpse into that, once we get there, is you have the quick play, and you have the battle arenas in the background matchmaking. Now, looking into the background matchmaking, there has been issues where there's a lack of features. You can't do without stock, I believe, and things like that. You do solo and that sort of thing. So I'm just going down here, and let's pick Donkey Kong as a main thing. preferred rules. So you can do Smash, you can do Team Stock 1-on-1, the rules time, Stock and Stunema, and you can do hazards off battlefield forms like that. And I think with items, and you can set none. So some people are annoyed that there's a fair bit of lag in the game and stuff like that, which I can understand. So that's one of the areas that Nintendo needs to fix up, because this is now a paid service. We're now paying for this option. And some people will go, oh, it's only $20 a year. It doesn't matter. You still need to provide the service. You know, I buy $2 bottles of milk. I like to make sure that the milk is not off when I buy it. It doesn't matter how cheap it is. You still need to provide that service. So I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's close to a 10, and I'm just taking that half a point off because of the online. I was thinking about giving it a 9, but the sheer wealth of content in this game is just huge. And no, it's not a Wii U port. It's a whole brand new thing. There might be a skeleton of it, but the meat and the body parts and everything else works quite differently. And I was very happy about the game. I think it's really good. I've enjoyed a lot, a lot of hours put into it. And I'm sure that anyone who buys it will have a lot of fun if you play it in the casual way, sort of unlocking characters, you know, a dedicated night with friends and that, and just unlock a whole bunch of characters. Like even in 3 hours, I unlocked probably 20-25 characters. Just, you know, resetting the game or just playing it every 10 minutes, you can unlock 18 characters in that 3-hour period. So it's not too bad. It's not as bad as you think it is, and it gives you a bit of an idea, because I think if you unlock it all at the beginning and show off 70 plus characters, you probably just look at them and go, oh, I don't know which one to pick. I'll just pick, you know, the ones that I've picked before. And I know that some people will complain about what I've said then, but I don't think at the end of the day it's a big enough issue. I think the online thing is probably the thing that Nintendo needs to work on, rather than, you know, allowing people to unlock things straight away from the beginning. But overall, Smash Brothers Ultimate is a fantastic game. It's definitely worth your money. It's definitely the big game of the year. You had Pokemon Let's Go, but I think this one has a lot more meat in the sandwich. So I'll continue to play it, maybe a little less now, after I've unlocked everything and completed the single player campaign. But it will be a lot of fun for people to play. So that's my review. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can type them down on the comments. And yes, it's a great game. So that's it for me, and I'll see you next time.